Here we have the second structure of the ear. We start out with the pinna, which would be the whole ear structure, also the inside. Alright. The outer rim of the pinna would be called the helix. This bottom, the lobe of the ear, would be called the lobule. Inside, we actually have the external auditory canal, transmits sound waves, which eventually goes into the tympanic membrane, which would be this part right here. Let me take the structure apart to allow you better view. Alright. This is better known as the tympanic membrane. Small structure. On the inside the middle ear, we have the 3 auditory ossicles, which are the smallest bones in the body. We start off with the malleus, which would be this little bulb thing right here, the malleus. The second part would be called the incus, be this long part right here, the incus. Let's see, where's the stapes? The stapes would be this bulb projection right here, which would be on this part of the structure. It connects right here. The stapes is on this side of the structure. Right above the stapes, we have the stapedius muscle, which would be this little one right here. And we also find the tensor tympanic muscle, which would be this muscle right here. The tensor tympanic muscle also runs down here. So this part of the structure would also be the tensor tympanic muscle. Right underneath that, this tube right here would be called the pharyngotympanic tube. It's also formerly known as the eustachian tube. So that would be this tube right here, which leads into here. Alright. Another structure that we need to know on the middle ear would also be the epitympanic recess, which would be this part right here. This is the epitympanic recess. Right, now we move on to the inner ear. On the inner ear is made up of 3 parts, which would be the, hold up, let me fix this thing up. 3 parts of the inner ear would be the semicircular canals, which would be these 3 structures right here. The vestibules, which would be this part right here, and the cochlea, which would be the shell shape right here. This is the cochlea, vestibules, and the semicircular canals. Semicircular canals are arranged into 3 separate canals, which they would be, from the anterior view, would be the anterior semicircular canal, the posterior semicircular canal, and the lateral semicircular canal. Right. Inside of the circular canal, you have the semicircular ducts, which you could see from the sideways view. Semicircular duct would be this blue region right here. And at the end of every circular canal, which would be this number 44, we have the membranous apulae. All we gotta know is that in every membranous apulae, there are cristae ampullaris, which would be the equilibrium receptor. No, wait, there'd be the receptors that respond to angular rotational movements of the head. Alright, at the other end of the semicircular ducts, we have the vestibules. The top big one would be the utricle, and the lower, number 42, the small one, would be the saccule. Aside from that, we also have to know that the inside of the cochlea is the cochlear duct. And these orange windows would be the oval window and the round window. And that's about all we have to know for this diagram.